On this week's episode of Marketing O'Clock,
Google has killed a very unnote-worthy product.
Surprise! Ads are spotted in a new location on Google.
Plus, a bunch of new YouTube features are rolling out, and we'll cover the long and the shorts of it.
All on today's show.
Welcome, you are listening to Marketing O'Clock. Just stay tuned. Digital marketing news, but let's get specific. Digital ads, SEO and analytics, social media and more. Pretty much everything that'll make your website perform. With new shows every Friday. We give you the news with sass and puns and definitely hot takes. Thank you for tuning in. You know what time it is. It's officially Marketing O'Clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.
Hey there, I'm Christine Zernheld.
AKA Shop.
I'm Jess Budd.
And I'm Greg Finn.
And it is officially Marketing O'Clock.
Here on July 19th, 2024. What is happening this week?
Well, we've got big news because Google apparently called during business hours and told 9 to 5 Google that search notes are finally dead. The quote was that Search Labs is our test bed for bold experimentation. And as we've shared, not all experiments will launch broadly. We've seen our research that people want to hear from others like them, and Notes was an exploration of how to help people share their knowledge right on search. We're excited to continue testing new ways to connect people to authentic, relatable voices and look forward to bringing some of our learnings from Notes into future product experiences. I would ask them that they please don't, because Notes was, I talked about this on It's New this week. It may be the worst effort for a product by Google ever.
There's been some bad efforts.
There have been a ton of bad efforts. But the sheer fact that Notes wouldn't show for websites, but then it would show, like, if you had a website, shopzernheld.com, sometimes you could not write a note for the website, but I could for your Twitter X profile. I could write a note about that. None of it made sense. The rollout didn't make sense. And the craziest thing is that would be a great feature if it was on a Chrome browser. And you could see, I'm looking at this page. It's a recipe. And I want to see on the Google product Chrome what other people think about this. Nobody is going to search for a cookie recipe, click through the SERPs, make it to a recipe site, while reading the recipe say, oh, I wonder what other people are thinking about this. Go back to the SERPs, look at the note in the SERPs, and then move ahead. It's like, none of it makes sense to me, but it would be like a great feature if it were in Chrome, in my opinion. I just think it was such a wildly stupid thing to do. And then there's no curation. If you had like a website with a note added to it, there's no way to see. You just have to search yourself all the time and look and search as many things, try to find out what notes are on those
And then
pages.
was there anything you could do if it was like a bad note?
No, I mean, there's no support on anything. No, there's nothing. So I'd like to say RIP in peace, but no, just RIP.
Good riddance, yeah.
Good riddance to this one. I don't know. And the notes will stop working at the end of this month, according to Barry Schwartz over on Search Engine Roundtable. Did you ever use Notes?
No.
Did you ever see Notes?
I don't think I did, other than
only
the
in
examples.
screenshots. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the problem with these releases is Google has no idea how to actually launch a product. If you have a product called Notes and nobody can figure out where it is, how to use it, how to even access it, there's no way that thing's going to succeed. The only people that will use it are people that are like SEOs and are like, oh, I'm going to go try to SEO this note or something like that. If you're going to make a product, just release it to the people. And it's just, I feel like with this, we're going to get into it with AI overviews. They just have no clue how to launch it.
That's what I was going to say too. Opposite problem with AI overviews. They went like too heavy.
Bold experimentation. Up next, YouTube's got a long list of new Shorts features that are rolling out and worth noting, including a new tool for repurposing longer videos into Shorts. So for now, that first one is available on Android only, but it's called Auto Layout, and it'll essentially track the main subject of a video and narrow that field of view to better optimize it for the vertical format, which could be really handy and helpful. They're also adding a text-to-speech option like TikTok offers with 4 different voices to choose from. Some auto-generated captions are coming too, with the ability to style those with different colors and fonts so you can make them a little more on brand.
So Shep, as a TikTok influencer, does this appeal to you that you will have the text-to-speech option for YouTube Shorts? Will you be moving from TikTok to YouTube Shorts?
No.
Nobody is, right?
Will you be repurposing your content onto YouTube Shorts?
I don't know how to do anything.
Okay.
You could just do that though now, because you can do it without the watermark on TikTok. So why would you make it?
By
on
the way, I
Shorts?
haven't been able to figure out how to do that.
No, maybe it's not here yet, but maybe it was
Talk to our
testing.
social person.
Yeah.
I'm giving you the information. Yeah. So here's something else you'll want, Shep. 2 new Minecraft themed effects. An Add Yours sticker for creators to solicit more engagement. And then if you like remixes in true exhibit fashion, you can now remix a remix. So they're really going wild here. One thing that I think is, I don't want to say helpful because it's not even a thing yet, but probably the most important thing here, you still will not be able to upload a custom thumbnail image for Shorts. YouTube says they're not important because people are just scrolling through and finding them in the feed differently than they are with a YouTube, like a main YouTube video. But they said you may soon be able to customize it. You can edit. Again, they're working on this. It's not available yet, but what shows up is your thumb frame. They're testing the capacity to edit it after the upload, as well as exploring the possibility of adding text and filters. So if you are trying to make it with Shorts, you could make yours look a little bit nicer and make people want to click. Again, maybe in the future. I think that's probably the biggest thing here if it becomes real. But right now, it's still something that they're working on, whereas all those other features are rolling out. So lots going on, some good opportunities for creators to make the most of their Shorts, but you got to be creating them in YouTube versus repurposing them to use any of these features. So, meh.
Next up from Barry Schwartz for Search Engine Roundtable, people spotted some weird stuff going on in the SERPs this week. Specifically, there seemed to be more testing of ads below featured snippets. So this is an example where somebody was searching for surveys and there's a big featured snippet for surveys, and then underneath there's a sponsored post for SurveyMonkey. So this is a weird thing, but just a reminder, Google confirmed a year ago that they are testing different mixes of ads within organic search results, which Barry says is super icky to him.
Did he say super icky?
That's what he says.
I love that.
Which I kind of agree. Like, I wish I knew like what they were testing and what's happening. But if stuff like this happens, it's not like crazy, but definitely worth pointing out. And I feel like they're not going to test anything if it doesn't lead to more clicks on ads, probably. So just an interesting thing that people spotted.
Shep, I'm going to inject you with the truth serum. Okay? Background. You're an SEO.
I can't relate.
We're already on
You
live
have it.
serum.
Yeah, okay. You're an SEO, truth serum. What do you think of this change?
I'm mad about it. I want another organic result there instead of an ad.
Okay, Shep. Change. You're a paid search professional. Truth serum. What do you think of this change?
Let me look at the search term. So it's survey. I don't know. If you're just searching for surveys in this example, like a SurveyMonkey ad, I don't know if I'd want that.
Go to the one beneath it.
This person is searching for simple redirect, so SEO something 301. And there's an ad in Spanish for SEMrush. Yeah, so that makes sense.
I love it.
I guess I like
from
it for
a paid
ads,
search
yeah.
person. More inventory. And it's sneaky inventory. It's the icky inventory that's going to work. The icky stuff works for paid search people. But
Yeah.
I would never say that out loud.
You just did.
You just did. On record.
Yeah.
I disagree.
And now for this week's
Cool tool.
As a reminder, our Cool Tool segment is not an official endorsement or paid mention. We're simply sharing something we found in our travels that may be of use to our listeners. And is really, really cool.
This week's cool tool takes the mystery out of the history of Google's AI overviews. It's the Google AI Overview tool, aptly named from advanced web ranking, and it tracks the evolution of AI overviews over time in Google search. So It's interactive. You can dive into things like the percentage of SERPs, where the overviews are present, how much real estate they're taking up on the page, average query length for what triggers them, common terms that are triggering them, and so much more. You can do it at a high level or break it down by industry or intent or both if you really want to dig into something relevant to you. It's free, it's interactive, and it's got a lovely color palette. So if you are tracking Google AI overviews and how things are going there, you'll want to check this out. As always, we'll have the link in our newsletter as well as on Discord. That's newsletter.and community.marketingoclock.com respectively. So pick your poison and check it out.
Now it's time for this week's Take of the Week. This is a #fire digital marketing take with extra spice served up for you. We simply deliver the take for your consumption. We give no opinions. We don't influence. You make the call.
This week's Take of the Week comes from Kirk Williams over on LinkedIn. I had seen this on Twitter, and then it was deleted, but I found it on LinkedIn. Hopefully it's not deleted and I didn't ruin anything here. But Kirk said, broad statement with obvious caveats, but I'm starting to see brands moving back towards agencies from the in-house swing of about 2 years ago. Are you seeing the same or different? I think what happened is them 1 to 2 years ago, hey, let's pay a little more for our own in-house person or team that we get all the time. Easy peasy. Then the reality of managing people and all that goes into employee teams hits, and they realize performance doesn't necessarily improve with in-house person. So sometimes they sacrifice an easier and often cheaper third-party relationship for more of an employment commitment that they're now regretting. And he says they have some drawbacks and things too, but I think this is an interesting take. I've always wondered how hard that must be to build an in-house team, because you really, in order to do the right thing, you either have to go out and get some of the best people that already know all their stuff. You have to have a good number of people, right? Because if somebody leaves, goes on vacation, and you're a 2-person team, like that can be really, really tough. And then the ability to lose so much information is tough, right? Where we have right now 15, 16, we're going to be 17, 18-ish next month. Like we have coverage and I know what's generally going on most clients in the business and talk about that regularly. And so like, I think just from a development standpoint, that seems really hard to be able to have somebody that you can like rely on that. And then, yeah, like there are issues too. Like, all right, somebody has problems or has to have an extended period of leave or, leaves and there's unemployment. There's just like a lot that goes into it that is in-house. And we are seeing, again, lots of demand here. And so I would say I agree with it, but we also kind of promote ourselves pretty decently here over the last year or so.
Yeah, there's something to that though. Like I feel like we've had with some of our longer standing clients, there's been a lot of turnover on their internal side, and we've been able to be that like continuous source of information in that record and helping them bring people up to speed. Not necessarily an in-house like PPC team, because that's what they hire us for, but you see that turnover and the knowledge lost because sometimes things don't happen with preparation and notes aren't left behind. And so having an agency on your side, I feel like can be a benefit in that way too.
Yeah, I think there are bad agencies and there are good agencies. So I'll frame it as you've hired a good agency. So we'll just pretend that that's the context. But the potential downside of being in-house and having some of those issues arise, those seem like catastrophic in a way. I don't know what you think, Shep.
Yeah. I feel like it's less risky from a hiring standpoint to go with an agency than like trying to build your own team for sure.
A good agency.
Yeah.
If you can vet that, yeah. I don't know. So I guess good news for agencies. And I just always wonder, like, how do you build an amazing in-house team if you don't know how to like develop talent, I guess.
And I wonder where he's seeing this swing. Like, is it just because he has more opportunities at Zato, or like, is he like hearing things? So I'd like more info on where that's coming from, but interesting take.
Now it's time for this week's Pew Pew Lightning Round. At this point in the show, we split up our content into 3 parts: paid, organic, and social.
First up in the paid universe this week, some more surprises on top of what we talked about in the paid. That might be my most
Cease and
overused
desist.
joke on the show. Yeah. So first via Barry Schwartz for Search Engine Roundtable, Google seems to be testing query refinement ad option. So he has a screenshot that is from SAD AK, and it is a search for hotels, and there is a sponsored post for Expedia hotels, and it's a carousel where you can look at different hotels, and then underneath there are like search refinement options, and one of them is the branded Expedia hotel option. So that seems to be where it would open up in a new search for Expedia hotels. So kind of crazy.
I think this is a bug. If you look at the video of it, somebody performed a search for the word hotels. You had some ads, there's some organic, and then there's this carousel that's sponsored, and it says Expedia hotels.
But they're not all
they're
Expedia.
not.
There's not any Expedia
Yeah.
hotels.
Booking.com, yeah.
So I think this is probably a bug, not a feature. Like I think your next story might be a bug too. But the fact that you would even show like something that would clearly be like a conquesting campaign in with hotels is a terrible look. And then even if this was just like ritzy hotels, where does that ad come? Does that ad show with the term ritzy hotels or with hotel? You know what I mean? Like what term is getting that click cost?
I don't know. I'd like to know.
I think it's a bug.
Yeah, it's weird that it has the brand name and then they're not brand, so it must be. Also from Barry, Google seems to be testing or a bug, a new ad format with 2 rows of shopping ads in the search results in a carousel format. So when you scroll, both rows of carousel move. And this example is for beds. So it's like bunk beds, kind of. Just interesting. Testing around. This was also originally spotted by Sod. And you got to see it to believe it in the screenshot. And it's on mobile, and it's like got to be the whole phone.
Yeah.
Is the
and
shopping
they're not
result.
scrolling individually, right? You scroll and both rows go together.
Yeah. I don't know why they would make that choice.
I don't know.
You know what? They must be trying to figure out a new way to shake the cushion.
Oh, the mattress.
Shake the mattress.
Oh, the mattress. Oh, I blew it. It's not a cushion.
It's the same. Next up from Brad Geddes on LinkedIn. He got an email from Google Ads that says, simplifying content targeting. Dear Google Ads advertisers, starting September 2024, all content targeting will be simplified into a single content page in Google Ads, so you can manage all of your content targeting in a single view. And it looked eerily similar to the same email he got saying, starting in March 2023, all content targeting will be simplified into a single content page in Google Ads. It is the same exact email. This has happened
I was
before.
Gonna say, define eerily similar.
I know. This
Identical.
has happened before.
This is identical match.
So I don't know, did they not roll it out as quickly as they wanted to? I feel like it already is the simplified view, so I don't know why they're saying this. This has happened before, though, where I will search my inbox and I had the same email 3 months ago.
That's weird. This is way more than 3 months. This is like a year and a half.
Yeah.
I literally think that Brad hit the nail on the head with the final question he had. Does Google not know their own change history? Like, that's it. That's it.
They should check it out.
Wild.
This is a follow-up on our story from last week about the updates to the default match type in Google Ads. So when you're setting up a new campaign, Thomas SL saw that broad match was the default match type, and it was our main news story last week. He responded to our YouTube video and said he got an official update from Google about his broad match setting on default. And it is only the default when you are using a conversion bidding strategy, which makes me feel better about it.
Yes, that is a very welcome change, and kudos to Google for doing that and not putting, manual CPC.
Well, they could have just left it the old way. I don't know.
Now they know we're watching.
Yeah. Maybe the non-smart bidding is next. Next up, this is a weird one. Google Ads changed what they call broad match in Japan. So it used to translate to partial match, and now it is translating to intent match.
What did you think of my conspiracy theory on It's New this week, Shep?
I missed it.
No, I was like, this. I hope that this is something that will come down like the pipeline.
You think they should call it intent match?
I 100% think that broad match should be called intent match because it matches to previous search history, landing pages, and then roughly to keywords. And
but none of those things are intent.
Well, I mean, there's intent behind a landing page. There's pseudo intent behind a previous search. So I was like, maybe that'll be the case. And I was like, if we could have intent match for broad match, for phrase match where phrases don't even matter anymore, if you could take that balanced, we use the lookalike name convention, and then for exact match where there is literally like zero exact matching anymore, and you call that narrow match. So then you have intent, balanced, and narrow. Those things would be so much more representative of what the product actually is. Because any like dullard or novice even like that jumps into Google Ads and like, oh, I just want that phrase in there. I want to match this phrase. You would choose phrase match. And to say exact match, any human being that does not spend tons and tons of time in Google Ads would be like, oh, exact match. I know what this is. I know what the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of exact is. It means identical. Mm-hmm. And exact match is not exact. Phrase match is not phrase. It can match to your competitors and all that stuff. So I think if you had intent, balanced, and narrow, those would be much better representation of what the keyword matching actually is.
I
So
like balanced and narrow.
I was like hopeful. Like I was hopeful that that'd be the case. Even intent, like you performed a search once. You had that intent a little bit.
But you need smart bidding. If you're doing it with like ECPC.
Right. They should get rid of ECPC for not even make an option. There's so many things now where like shopping, I can't even do maximize conversion value now. And it's like, you can take that away from intent match or broad match. Yeah. I just think that they should name those things correctly because we don't work with a lot of small businesses, to be candid with you. But I have friends and people that I know that come to me for things and they're like, this isn't working. I'm like, well, you're using broad match. Like, what do you do? Or you're using phrase match for this thing. And it's like, I don't know. I was hopeful that they would change it. I still honestly am hopeful because out of all these lawsuits, out of all this DOJ stuff, it is very, very criminal that you can say, I want to match or phrase match this term. Yeah. And it will go to your competitor. That is something that should be a criminal offense. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I'll shut up now.
This is why you have, no, I agree with you. I still don't love intent because I feel like it makes it sound like it would work universally in all situations. But I think it's like intent with, like I almost want to say smart matching or goal matching or something. I don't know.
See, I have so much PTSD around smart.
Yeah, I don't want to say it again.
Like smart shopping, which is fine. But more like smart campaigns. It's like, those were literally the dumbest campaigns.
Smart goals. Remember those?
Do they even have smart campaigns anymore? I hope not.
I don't think so.
But this is why you got to follow Dario Zanoni because he always knows what's going on in the Asian markets. And he tipped us off to this news. By the way, Ginny said that this was a local translation change specific to Japanese only. So,
and that actually made sense to me. Like, because I was under this conspiracy theory that everything was going to change, but the Japanese translation of their broad match was partial match. Mm-hmm. And because broad match does not require any matching, right? It can go off landing page and it can go off previous search history. There is no partial that even is needed.
Yeah, it's so, like maybe we need to take the term match out of it. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah.
Intent targeting.
Mm-hmm. Intent signals.
You want to get rid of keywords, don't you?
No, I don't. But I just think when you're using broad, it's not really keywords.
It sure sounded like you want to get rid of matching.
No.
Are you sure?
No.
Did I mishear?
I think the word match and broad match, maybe dump it. It's not matching.
That's dangerous. That's a slippery slope.
Next up, LinkedIn. Foursquare.
Why are we talking about presidents? Enough of that.
Never. LinkedIn is making its automated Accelerate campaigns available to all brands. This is reported on from Social Media Today from our guy Andrew Hutchinson, and he says Accelerate campaigns scan the URL listed in your campaign setup along with your company's LinkedIn presence in order to build a recommended overview for your optimal LinkedIn campaign. Sounds a little scary.
Yeah, like what if you don't do much with your LinkedIn presence?
I would check those settings.
The ads. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm linked out on this.
Also from Dario, he noticed a new update to Advantage Plus creative testing in Meta. This is called AI-based text extraction optimization. And if you turn
That really flows off the tongue.
it's beautiful.
What was that again?
AI-based text extraction optimization.
That sounds like one of Elon Musk's children.
Yeah. I don't think you want this one really either. If you turn it on, it will pick keywords or phrases from the original text and use them in various elements of the ad, like overlays or headlines. So I'm just picturing you have like sign up today and it's like picking the word up and over, like, I don't know. Like you have no idea what it's going to do.
Up today.
I don't like it. It's scary. More meta news. They are adding custom offers to Instagram ad CTAs. This was spotted by Bram Vanderhalen on LinkedIn. So he has an example here where it's showing a 10% offer and it's like on the button where you click, but it looks like you could put up to 20 different offers. They could be like cash off discounts or percentage off discounts, and they'll test all of them. And whatever one is supposed to convert more, that's the one that they'll use more.
That's cool.
But it's also like your offer should be, I don't know. It probably depends what the bigger offer is.
Also true.
Next up from Adam Singolda, he says, big news. Taboola is teaming up with Apple to power advertising on Apple News and Apple stocks.
Oh,
because there's
great.
nothing like a toenail fungus ad
No, it's going to be
on your
worse.
stocks.
It's going to be like, here are the 69 penny stocks to make you nickels.
Oh, no.
gonna be terrible.
Oh, no. What's happening in organic?
All right, we've got new data from Bright Edge, and it's Bright Edge Generative Parser, or the BEGP. Google AI overviews now appear less than 7% of the time. When this was conducted mid-April, the Google search results without SGE jumped up to 65%, up from 25%, which was again pretty wild. So there, at one point, it seems like, according to this data, there was 75% of the queries had AI overview, and this was pre-May, pre-IO, and pre-Google Marketing Live, where they made this big hullabaloo about AI overviews. So there was all of the blowback after I.O., where Google was suggesting that people drink urine and eat rocks, and Google promised to improve AI overviews. It seems like one of the ways that they stopped some of the nonsense from getting in here is by dropping citations from Reddit from the AI overviews, which makes sense because there's so much S-posting on Reddit and joking around that like you kind of can't just use that data because it's Reddit. It's like people having a fun time. It's not actual real information. And so there's this like almost reverse hockey stick chart here of Reddit, where at one point in May, 4% of the citations came from Reddit, and now it's very close to 0%.
Yeah.
And according to Bright Edge, the staggering number of AI overview citations from Reddit and Quora respectively dropped by 85.7% and almost 100% from Quora in June.
Why did you need to like roll it out to know that you shouldn't be using forums in the AI overviews? Like, shouldn't this have been at launch?
Hang on. I got a phone call. Oh, it's for you, Shep. It's Google. They have a job offer.
Oh, no.
You've been hired. Yeah, how do you not think of that?
I don't. It's stunning. Like, it's crazy. Who's working over there?
But now we are talking about, they're pulling in TikTok answers as well.
Oh, good.
So if you look for like who invented the backflip, you can hear it's William Backflip that invented it, but then he was exiled from the community because John Front Flip called him a sorcerer. And it's like, this is a TikTok joke. You can't use like UGC for this stuff. There is expected to be a Google Core update in the coming weeks. This is from Barry Schwartz over on Search Engine Roundtable. And the source is Barry Schwartz over on Search Engine Roundtable. He still is the one human that has comments on his blog posts. And Danny Sullivan, the search liaison for Google, jumped over in the comments and said, "We tell you when the next core update will be if we knew, but we don't exactly know yet. That's all. These aren't scheduled to a particular day." And then goes on to say that it will be in the coming weeks. So I just like the fact, that Barry has a cesspool of comments over on that site and he thrives. And it's like, I feel like that's where he gets some of his power source from. Yeah. Like just the horrific comments over there. It's just
they're really
rough.
Mean.
It's just people that they're all anti-Google.
Oh,
It's not a pleasurable group over there. But Danny jumped in there and
I can't believe Danny's diving in then.
Yeah. Okay, and YouTube is testing an AI generated radio station for YouTube Music. I just want to say, what year is this? This is 2024.
Radio station?
A radio station? That just it sounds so strange. I don't know. But they're going to have, this is an example. So I think they may have created this specifically for one Jessica Lee Budd, where they said, so if you're in the mood for angry metal music, or maybe they made one for Shep, or relaxing instrumentals that feature female vocals.
Oh, that makes it not an instrumental.
Yeah.
The system, it's so dumb. Again, it's very Google of them. We'll be able to come up with a continuous stream of tracks aligned to that prompt.
So it's a
Spotify
playlist.
playlist for all those needs.
Yeah.
I can be your radio station.
It is a cool idea. Like Spotify doesn't really have that where you could just type in any prompt and it would try to make it.
They could do it better, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So that's a great idea. Is Spotify calling to offer Shep a job?
Spotify's on the blower.
And they wouldn't
Shep,
call
you
it
got
a
job.
radio station. They would call it a playlist, an AI generated
Or
playlist.
like a movie.
Yeah, and Julie and I were talking about it. It's like, this is like a day list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I know we're going to get a ton of hate in the comments because somehow all of our listeners use YouTube Music. I have yet
Because they're on YouTube. Those are the YouTube people.
I have yet to meet somebody that pays for YouTube Music.
No.
Do you know any human being that uses YouTube Music?
No.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I don't know. I guess because you can get radio.
Radio station.
Can you close the app and still listen? No, right?
No, that's a different thing,
No,
right?
you have to have YouTube Premium for that.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone would use that then.
Ridiculous.
Which, again, if Google wants to give me a call for a job offer, the fact that you're trying to get into podcasts, you're making podcast sections in YouTube for people to consume podcasts, but you cannot have your screen closed to listen to a podcast on YouTube, might be the dumbest single thing that you've ever done. How on earth does that make sense?
Just a reminder, they got rid of dislikes. So
For those 7% of people that can find an AI overview, Google Search has a sticky overview button that will bring you back to the top of the search engine results pages so that you can get back to the AI overview.
Thank goodness.
I just wish they took that team that like went and built and developed this button and all the work behind it and just put them on the let's make AI overviews good team. Like, I should move that team from one to the other. Because we don't even, AI overviews are like MIA. All right, and from Glenn Gabe, he said, this is from the pressgazette.co.uk. Most people want online journalism ad-funded, but they don't like the ads that they see. A survey of 1,500 Britons said that 7% pay for news subscriptions, 87% say that they prefer to paying for content, and overall, respondents said that 5% of ads were relevant.
wow. So they prefer ads to paying for content.
Right, but they don't like the ads that they see. Can I just say something to all of them?
Yeah.
What did you think the GDPR would do? What do you think that the iOS changes when you opted out of personalized ads would do?
Yeah.
Maybe keep that on if you care about the ads.
Yeah. If you can't ignore it, if you're mad, if you dislike something.
And I'm biased, for the record, because I'm an advertiser.
Sure, but it's a valid point.
All right, next up from Barry Schwartz over at Search Engine Roundtable. Google has a major change in the SERPs. Their former carousel of short videos is being renamed to quick takes.
What?
That is so stupid.
Again, take that whole team of people, go put them on the AI overviews. Who cares? What are you doing? Also, a take is a thing. I talked about this on It's New. But like a take is an opinion. And now you're going to take all these short videos and be like, oh, it's a quick take.
Their example's pizza. How is that a take? Take a
One's
photo.
a review. One is a
fine, but
a
like-
review is a take. But
I don't.
yeah, I don't know. You have bigger fish to fry than that. All right. And from the Google business profile side of things, the search chat feature is over. Rest in heck. Because the chats that came through that thing stunk.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about those emails.
We would get them from Cypress North, and it was always the same. It was the same exact spam that you get in your email. It's like, hey, do you have time for 1,000 new leads every hour? I've got a product for you. And then if you don't answer, it's like, it says like you don't answer. It's like you have to respond to this stuff. Never seen anything good come from those chats. People thought it was like chat bots and like live chat, but it wasn't. It was just a message. So I'm good with that. But they also kind of like shoehorned in, and we talked about this earlier, but the fact that you will not be able to see call history.
Oh, yeah,
features.
that was part of that.
And I think that was actually very helpful.
Yeah.
And they said it wasn't for privacy or anything like that. So why would you take that away? So I think it's like something people celebrate and something people are going to miss. But that's it in organic. What's happening in social, bud?
All right, first up, something real neat for creators on Instagram. They're adding the ability to add and layer up to 20 different tracks in a single reel. 20 seems excessive, but the general concept is cool. There's a lot you can do with it. You can create transitions. It's just like audio editing right in the platform. I think TikTok has something like this in an external editor, but this is right in Instagram, which could be really cool.
20 tracks is egregious.
It's a lot. You don't need 20, but 3? I like that.
Shep, what are your top 20 Taylor Swift songs?
Are you kidding?
Yes.
But you could create a reel outlining
ready.
all of them.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
And
There are
include
so
them.
many amazing like mega mixes.
You could do lists.
Yeah.
You could make a long take with one of these.
I challenge you to make Instagram posts with 20 Taylor Swift songs in it.
Okay.
I don't feel like that's a challenge. She's like excited. And if you want to reuse the audio that she comes up with, you can, because users will have the ability to then, if there's any like audio, if it's not just individual tracks, you'll be able to use that in your own clips too. And folks will be able to see the individual tracks that you use to make that audio. So kind of cool, kind of different.
How much time must that take?
A lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's for serious creators.
You got to have a battery pack to do that.
And like a stylus.
A stylus. Also useful, coming to a feed poster story near you, the ability to tag a collaborator on a poster story after it goes live. Apparently outside of Reels, that wasn't possible before. I'm brain dead because I'm pregnant, but even when I'm not, that Gmail delay feature that they have, if you like think of something after the fact and want to go back and add it in, you can it's a delayed send feature. This reminds me of that. Like, what if you forget to tag somebody you collaborated with and you want to go back after the fact and add that? That's real nice. It seems like a no-brainer. Something less cool, I guess, unless you're really excited about something, Instagram is adding or testing the ability to super like a story.
I'm offended.
It just doesn't make any sense. Once every 24 hours, you can tell someone that you like their content a little bit more than everyone else's. So that's cool.
No, it's not. It's becoming a dating app. You have one super like in 24. This is ridiculous.
You think that's what people are going to use it for? Not to like.
No, that's what dating apps are. They're, here, give him a rose. Give me a super like. Like, it's so stupid.
You're stupid. But I said it's cool. I was being sarcastic. Meta is also testing AI comment summaries on Facebook. I don't want to scroll through. I mean, I'm not on Facebook, but I don't want to scroll through a bunch of comments. Like, I like
It's
this
nice.
for
It's
Amazon
you guys,
reviews.
it's so fun in North Buffalo community group.
Does it help? Like,
Yes.
do you use this? Because I was thinking about you and
Yes.
the girls and the Duggar girls in their shorts, and like you could just get a synopsis of what everyone was saying.
Oh my God. It was okay. So the other day there was this firefighter in North Park community group and he was like, listen, don't do this. And it was a picture of a fire hydrant with a winter cap and scarf on it.
Aww.
And the person was like trying to be cute, but he's like, the firefighters need to know what color is on the top. It like gives them some kind of signal about like the hose that attaches or something. He's like, listen, don't do this. And it was so fun this summer to be like, posters are questioning why anyone would ever do this, especially in July. It's giving fire safety tips. It's really a nice feature for groups when you want to just like see the drama, but you don't want to scroll through everything.
Yeah, I think about it from like a brand standpoint though too. If the sentiment about something you posted is real bad, it's just going to summarize that there. So I guess keep track of your community. But I mean, I like it. Like I said, on Amazon for product reviews, that summary is nice. I feel like this is similar.
And that brings us to our real life segment. Straight out of our accounts and into your ear holes. It's time for Working Hard or Hardly Working, where we talk about what's going on in our IRL work, good, bad, or otherwise.
I have two things. I just discovered something in the overview chart.
You just went from 0 things to 2 things.
I know, I'm sorry. I just discovered something in the overview chart. So if you're looking at your campaigns, the chart that's at the top or the graph, I always say the wrong thing.
It's a graph.
There are little, like the AI symbol that they have for Google, and you can hover over it and it'll say a specific campaign had significant performance changes on that certain date or time period that you're hovering over. So that's kind of cool. I don't know if it's anything insightful, but I like that they have it. Who's next?
What's your other thing? You have 2 things?
Oh, the same thing in that overview chart. You can have a date range and look at weekly, and your week is always going to start on a Monday. And like for most of our clients, we're Sunday to Saturday. And you can't say like, I want to look at every week starting Sunday. You know what I mean? I hate that. Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, hardly working. Working hard for me, we were launching a new mountain campaign. It was our first one on the platform for a client this week. And I just want to shout out to the reps. They were super, super helpful, got things turned around quickly. We asked them to expedite their pixel testing process because it was going to take a couple of days. We're like, we need to get live now. They did. They were very helpful and collaborative, and I appreciated that. So love when a rep is great.
All right, and for me, something hardly working is Google Maps and the Apple Car integration. It now shows live on screen, front and center, what the speed limit is.
Oh, yeah.
And how fast you're going. And if you go any few miles an hour over, it turns yellow. And if you go more, it turns red. And so now my kids just look at me. I know this has nothing to do with marketing. I just want to share this one. And they're like, Dad, you're going to... So I can't use Google Maps anymore. What a bad feature.
Or you could stop speeding.
I'm going like 41 and a 40.
It'll turn yellow.
One over.
It turns yellow. And they go, Dad! I'm like, do you want to get to the game or not? I am going to go 41 and a 40. I'm sorry. I have it set in my car at 40. And it's going 41.
So you're not one of the dads who like drives by the speed camera to see how fast you can get?
No, because now it's always like too fast and doesn't really give me a good number anymore.
Slow down, sir.
Yeah.
Now it's time for this week's ICYMI.
ICYMI, people.
This is something you just might not have seen. Maybe something that you overlooked, but you shouldn't have.
ICYMI, PPC Greg spotted something fun in Gmail promotion ads. He says this is the first time I've seen descriptions included in the Gmail preview. So of course, this is an ad for Google Ads, so I don't know if this is something that's happening to everyone, but it is much larger than any Gmail ad I've ever seen, and it does have the description in there, so I don't know if it came from a PMAX campaign or a demand gen campaign, but sometimes it feels like when you're putting those assets in there, they're like, for nothing.
Lost.
Sometimes
like going
they
into
get
the
used.
void.
Yeah, and the image is nice and big too. It looks like they're using things more. So at least for Google.
Now it's time for our must-read marketing article of the week. An article so advanced, so in-depth, so detailed that we simply cannot cover it in its entirety on today's show.
This week's must-read marketing article of the week comes from Brandon Saltamacchia over on brandonsaltamacchia.com. Find the notes over on community.marketingclock.com or newsletter.marketingclock.com. And he had a day with Google and a day with Danny Sullivan. I just thought it was an interesting look and the introspectiveness of kind of what Danny was asking Brandon on this. From the article, Brandon said, this discussion throughout the day was fairly one-sided, with Danny asking questions about how they can better support creators in this dark period. And in all honesty, that's why I accepted this offer to meet. And he went on to talk and say, the vibe was okay. Some people could get in the key card, some people couldn't. And that Danny took the advice and said he'd pass it along, but also at the same point, Danny had a certain amount of pull, but it was really kind of up to the engineers of things. But I just think it's nice because you always look at that and be like, oh, well, Google just hired Danny from Search Engine Land so that they could shut him up. But he's out there asking questions, how to do better, do these things. And Ginny's the same way. If we have questions, she'll get answers and things like that. And there may be some element to that to have a shield in a way that can kind of tamper down some of the pitchforks coming at Google, I would say. But I just thought it was a very interesting read from Brandon Saltamacchia. And again, it is called A Brief Meeting with Google After the Apocalypse.
And now on to our playlist of curated songs to work to, which you can listen to at playlist.marketingoclock.com. Greg, what will you be adding to the playlist this week?
So I don't think this song is one that you go crank it up when it comes on, but it's just a good vibe song, something to work to. Running on Empty by Jackson Browne.
Have you done it before?
No, I just added the playlist for the first time now.
Okay.
I just added
It's a good way to check.
I'm going to do Man on the Moon by Megan Maroney. Jess?
I don't know it. Building a Mystery by Sarah McLachlan.
Is that the one with the dead pets?
No.
No, that's Angel.
Okay.
Same lady.
Sarah McLachlan
Different
and her
vibe.
dead
I hear her now and I just think of dead dogs.
They're not dead.
They're just chained up.
I mean,
to the
suffering
snow.
and they need your help.
Yes. For 60 cents a day, Greg.
All right. That does it for today's show.
It is now officially not Marketing O'Clock.
Thanks for listening.
We miss you already.
Can't wait to see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Marketing O'Clock. If you're looking for more information on today's topics, head over to marketingoclock.com/newsletter to receive every single article we covered. We share the news as it breaks in our Discord community. Head over to community.marketingoclock.com to join.
Welcome to this week's Shootin the Heck. We're after our famous Friday news show. We don't talk about marketing anymore. We just
Shoot the heck.
Today we're playing everyone's favorite game. And what game is that?
You don't know? It's everybody's favorite.
No.
Travel buddies.
Oh, no.
You have two options. You're going to travel the globe with one or the other person. And just because they have a trait to the personality doesn't mean they're going to be doing it all the time. It's just you have a choice of person A or person B to travel the globe with.
But there's a chance they could be doing it.
There's
Definitely.
a chance they could be doing it. Yeah. Okay. All right. And we are going to start with somebody that loves Biden or Trump.
Oh my God.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
Are you kidding me? Just had a heart attack.
I'm going with neither.
That's a joke. Somebody that loves CNN or Fox News.
Are you kidding
No,
me?
that's a joke. That's a joke too. That's a joke too. We're bringing everybody together here.
Okay.
Okay. In reality, somebody whose favorite snack is Cheez-Its or somebody whose favorite snack is Cheetos.
Oh, no brainer. No brainer.
Cheez-Its.
You don't want that Cheeto dust all over the airplane.
Which doesn't matter because they may not be doing it on the trip. But the point is that's a wild individual.
Yeah, Cheeto dust? Yeah. No.
Do you want to consult tables? Or
I'm
you guys
sorry.
just take
Cheetos
it over?
are Cheetos are gross. I do not want a Cheeto ever.
I
They're
love
gross.
a Cheeto, but Cheez-Its are
Are they flaming hot?
It could be all. You could be Cheez-It duos or Cheeto Flamin' Hot.
No, Cheez-It. And also my sister is a big Cheez-It. Like that's her personality is that she likes Cheez-It. So if I didn't pick that, I would just be lying.
Okay. Final answer then?
I mean, yeah.
I don't care what you think, Tables, honestly.
You're outnumbered.
Oh,
if you want
wow.
to travel with someone with Cheez-It fingers, Cheeto fingers.
yeah.
No, I mean, I was thinking about it just these past few seconds, and there's no way I can actually defend Cheetos. So I can't see any upside in traveling with somebody who is obsessed with Cheetos.
Okay, Tables, I think the answer might be in this question. If somebody were to hand feed you a snack that could be your favorite, you'd never touches your fingers, would you go for a Flamin' Hot Cheeto or a Cheeto or a Cheez-It?
All right. In that instance, I go with the Cheeto.
Right, and that's why that's the correct answer is because the person saying that they prefer Cheez-Its as a flavor and a taste over a Cheeto is blatantly lying.
They didn't
No
say
way.
that. They're being respectful.
No, they're
No,
lying.
their favorite snack is a Cheez-It.
Right, they're lying.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
I love
Cheetos are better.
Cheez-Its. Oh,
Cheetos
no,
are
no,
better.
no,
100%.
they're not.
I haven't
wonderful.
eaten a Cheeto in 10 years.
Oh, I had one 2 days ago.
I'm not interested in that artificial cheese dust.
What do you think that they are actually shredding Parmesan on
No,
top of
that's
the
why I said
Cheez-It?
artificial. Oh, but it's baked
It's not
in. It's not dusty.
Yeah. It's got that perfect square.
Somebody's gonna place something in your mouth. Cheez-It or Cheeto?
I'm taking a Cheez-It. I love Cheez-Its.
You're crazy.
The extra toasty ones.
Okay, well, you're 0 for 1, unfortunately. Next up should be a pretty easy one. We're going to go to the VP. No, just joking. Somebody that is on LinkedIn and relates their kids to some business attribute.
Who would do that?
Everybody on LinkedIn does that. Everybody does that.
Well, you kind of compare your United Soccer girls to business.
Or
You'll be like,
U10.
you gotta,
Thank you very much.
you gotta have that dog in you, you know?
Okay. So somebody that relates their kids to like business acumen or business insight, or somebody that relates pop culture updates to business on LinkedIn. So you're like, oh, the Taylor Swift concert is so amazing, and here's how the 16 things you can learn from it.
Okay, well, that's actually a business thing, so that makes more sense to me.
And it's more relatable to more people. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
your kids, but I know Taylor Swift.
Well, you don't know a lot of other pop culture
I'm
things.
also not on LinkedIn, but I don't know. I feel like the pop culture person.
Yeah. It's an actual business thing that you're talking about, the Era Store. It saved the U.S. economy. Stonks with Shep.
Wow.
Wow.
Taylor 2024.
It might have caused
There's
the next
flags.
Great Depression.
Oh, we
Everyone's
should get
trying to
one.
buy tickets.
Pop culture is the great equalizer, you know?
Okay. Well, the correct answer is your kids, because you're just out there trying to connect to a fad. And I'm sorry, I actually learn a lot of things from coaching a U10 girls soccer team. And I can tell you that the girls, if they believe in themselves, they will play better, and that you can try to do as many skills as you want, but until they believe that they can get there, they won't get there regardless of all the skills. And there are actual things that you learn from your kids instead of trying to capitalize on a pop culture event. So you're
What
incorrect.
does this have to do with travel?
It doesn't.
No, because other person's just clout chasing the whole time. Like, oh, look at this. Where's what we can learn from Butler, Ohio, Butler, Pennsylvania.
I don't know what Butler, Pennsylvania has to do with anything. Oh, okay, got it. Why do you keep going there today?
I don't know.
Can you stop? We're going to get flagged for
That's who
shocking
you
content.
picked. That's who you picked. That's who you picked.
That is not pop culture.
What is it then? It's not the
That's
biggest
politi-
news. It's not popular culture. You are the person that told me pop music is called pop music because it's popular.
I am?
Yes.
I gave you that news flash?
Yes.
You didn't know that.
No, you use that against me. I'm using it back to you.
I know, but you're talking about like political things. That's not.
I don't talk about politics.
Okay.
How dare you? Okay. Somebody whose favorite fruit. You have two choices. One person's favorite
A
fruit
Cheeto.
is an olive. Or
Oh,
another
the
person
other one.
whose
The other one.
favorite fruit is squash.
Oh,
Oh.
squash.
Olives.
Squash.
Olives.
Squash. You want to talk about the great equalizer? Squash.
Olives. All day.
Are you kidding me?
Squash is
Yeah.
gross.
Those are bite size. It's better for travel.
You can live off squash.
You can live off olives.
No, you can't.
The Greeks do.
Shep, are you scared of olives?
I'm definitely scared of olives.
Bring out the olive.
Really?
Keep them away from me.
So, Shep, what is your team's final
We
answer?
have to vote, but I would like to make one final argument to my team. Squash, you can live off of it. There's so many varieties. Spaghetti squash, you can dress it up, you can dress it down. It's a hearty meal.
How do you
And
dress
olive-
down spaghetti squash?
You have the point is you have to dress it. You don't have to dress olives.
It comes dressed down.
Yeah,
You
it
can't
just
literally
is a
make it
squa-
work.
It's like entrails. Like, just don't. I mean, it's fine. I'm not hating on it, but olives are superior.
And to conclude, olives are yucky. So
They're not.
All right, what is your team's final
it sounds like I've been outvoted.
Okay.
So the answer is olives.
So you would go with the olives person.
Yes.
Okay. I listen to Shep when she talks. Like you're the pop culture example. I take what you say and it gets short. A lot of things make it right in one ear and out the other.
True.
I think it might have been month 1 here at Cypress North where Shep looked me dead in the eyes and said, 1 extra spaghetti squash a week would totally change somebody's life.
What? I said my life.
Your life. You said 1 spaghetti squash a week would change my life.
I was getting married that year, and I was like on a spaghetti squash diet, and it worked.
Okay, so that's why
They're like
I was
$5 a
trying to
squash.
support you. I don't know why you and your team chose olives.
I still don't understand what any of this has to do with travel. We're traveling with the person?
I was just trying to pick the person that supports Shep. I am Team Shep. I will never forget that she said that, looked me dead in the face, eyes serious, and said that would change her life. 1 extra spaghetti squash a week.
I said my life.
It changed her life. That's what I said. So that's why. I thought
So that's
that was
who
an
we're
easy
traveling
answer.
with? Somebody that
I
wants
have
to change
said
Shep's
so
life?
many things.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, and lastly, we are going to go with somebody whose favorite show is either MILF Manor 2 or Farmer Wants a Wife.
I don't want to travel with either of these people.
Where are they streaming?
MILF Manor 2 is on Max. Farmer Wants a Wife is, I believe, on Fox.
Okay, so the question is, do you want someone with a cable subscription or a Max subscription? Both shows sound terrible. Wait, you said MILF Manor? It's
2.
on
MILF Manor 2.
That's-
On Max.
There's a MILF Manor 1.
Oh, yeah. Very
This person
controversial.
prefers the sequel. Okay.
MILF Manor 2 is a little more subdued.
Have you watched both?
I will not comment.
Oh no.
I think MILF Manor sounds fun.
It sounds like porn, but I
Farmer
feel like,
wants a wife, like, do they even have farmers?
yeah, they're growing spaghetti squash.
There's
They're
MILF.
changing lives, Shep.
MILFs are the great equalizer. So,
I like how MILFs are the great equalizer and not farmers.
I think that show sounds more fun.
I need to look it up.
Okay, we need an answer here.
Do you have an opinion?
I'm with you. Let's have fun.
And like Fox, nobody watches cable in Europe, right?
Wow. Wow.
life
Bleep that, tables. We're going to alienate all our EU fans.
Cable is not an
Yeah,
equalizer.
Fox is all over the world. It's international. Or Max, it's international. I think a lot of people watch MILF Manor. In fact, it sounds British to me. So
That's what I think when I think British. M's, I like to F. That's exactly where I go. All right, final answer. Give me
yeah, we're going with the MILFs.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought this was the easiest question.
It is.
MILF Manor 2 is an abomination of a TV show. You have moms, and then they have to go date against their sons. So the moms are trying to go potentially get the F with the son. And it's like,
Oh!
sons. It is a terrible show. It is the worst
That's
show on
weird.
television.
With another MILF son?
Yes,
That's
it's
really,
the MILFs are
that's
there,
twisted.
and then the only option you have to the Fs
That's
is the
twisted.
sons, and it is the worst show. And this farmer just wants a wife, and you are 0 for 4 today.
It got
I'm
a
sorry.
second season.
Yeah.
0 for 4. I think this was an off day, and that we'll do better next time.
Well, wish us luck next time, and we'll see you next week.
It's officially marketing o'clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.